You just threw $400 in the trash. That is what happens every day to drivers who trust the wrong tire brand. Today I am exposing 5 brands that will drain your wallet and risk your life, and handing you 7 that crushed 60,000 miles still performing like new. I tested 15 brands over 5 years on the same vehicles under real conditions. Stay until number 1 on the avoid list because that tire costs nearly $1,000, carries a name you've trusted your entire life, and betrays you so completely. Most drivers never realize it happened. Number 5 to avoid. Accelera tires. $300 to $400 for a full set, and that price feels like a win. It is a trap. I tested the PHI model on a 2016 Honda Accord, and by 12,000 miles, I had lost 60% of the tread. That projects to a 20,000-mile lifespan, while a premium tire on the identical vehicle lasted 65,000. By 15,000 miles, the rubber was hardening and wet traction was collapsing. Belt separation started at 22,000 miles, a catastrophic blowout waiting to happen at highway speed. A real customer bought Accelera to save $300. Hit belt separation at 24,000 miles, shredded his wheel well, and paid more in repairs than premium tires would have cost from day one. You are not buying a tire. You are buying a countdown to a blowout. Number 4 to avoid. Westlake tires. $450 to $600 per set, and the marketing sounds reasonable enough to fool you. I tested the RP18 on a 2017 Ford F-150, and at 22,000 miles, found sidewall bubbling on the right rear. I pulled all 4 immediately and found internal separation beginning on every single tire, invisible from the outside, and a ticking time bomb you would never detect. A customer ignored early signs and at 31,000 miles suffered complete tread separation at 70 miles per hour. $4,800 in damage. He was lucky to keep the vehicle on the road. 50% of the price and 30% of the lifespan. That is a money pit with a slow fuse. Numbers 3 to avoid. Douglas tires. Walmart's house brand at $280 to $380 installed. Walmart makes higher margins on these than on any name brand they carry. I tested them on a 2015 Toyota Corolla, and by 20,000 miles dry braking from 60 miles per hour needed 157 feet. When new, it was 134. 23 additional feet of stopping distance from compound hardening alone, nearly 2 car lengths gone. By 25,000 miles, the tires were hydroplaning in moderate rain. Every time a Walmart associate steers you toward Douglas, they are padding corporate margins at the direct expense of your safety.
The cheapest tire on the lot is always the most expensive decision you make at that register.
Number 2 to avoid. Firestone Destination. $600 to $800 per set, and enough American heritage behind the name to make you feel safe. That feeling is the trap. I tested the LE3 on a 2018 Ford Explorer with perfect alignment and regular rotations throughout. By 35,000 miles, I had severe cupping and feathering no maintenance could explain. By 40,000 miles, vibration made the vehicle undrivable above 60 miles per hour. Wet braking at 38,000 miles needed 168 feet to stop from 50 miles per hour, while a premium competitor stopped in 135. 3 full car lengths of difference. A customer hydroplaned his Tahoe at 41,000 miles, rolled it, and those tires still measured 4/32 of an inch when investigators arrived. Tread that reads fine but handles like a gamble in the rain is not a tire. It is a liability with a logo you trusted. Number 1 to avoid. Goodyear Assurance Weather Ready. $750 to $950 per set, a premium name and the most complete betrayal on this entire list. The first 35,000 miles on my test were genuinely impressive. Wet traction superb, snow performance confident, ride comfort outstanding. Then the cliff arrived. By 45,000 miles, wet braking from 45 miles per hour needed 138 feet. When new, it was 108. 30 feet of stopping distance quietly gone. Snow performance did not fade, it collapsed. At 48,000 miles, these tires spun uselessly on a snowy uphill, while winter tires with far less tread climbed the same hill without hesitation. Goodyear markets these as 60,000-mile tires. Real effective performance life is 35 to 40,000. And after that, you are driving on expensive rubber that has quietly stopped working. The most expensive tire with the most trusted name is costing you more money and more safety than any budget brand on this list. That is the most dangerous trap of all. Now the 7 that actually delivered. Hit subscribe right now because what comes next saves you real money on your very next set of tires and every set after that. Yokohama Avid Ascend GT, $550 to $700. Factory choice of Toyota, Nissan, Mazda, and Subaru. 65,000 miles on my test with wet braking degradation of only 14 feet across the entire lifespan. Continental Pure Contact LS, $600 to $800. Supplies Mercedes, BMW, Porsche, and Audi from the factory. 72,000 miles on my test with only 13 feet of wet braking degradation. Under 1 cent per mile for maintained premium performance. Michelin Defender T+H, $700 to $900. 82,000 miles with ride quality so consistent. The mechanic who put them on his wife's car calls them the tire I never have to think about. Bridgestone Turanza Quiet Track, $650 to $850. The lowest road noise I have ever recorded on a passenger tire, and those levels held to 74,000 miles. Quieter at 70,000 than most competitors at 30,000. Hankook Kinergy GT, $500 to $700. Factory supplier to Mercedes, BMW, and Audi. One customer drove his set to 90,000 miles with tread still remaining at a price 40% below what most shops quote for equivalent performance. Your shop never recommends it first because their margin drops the moment you ask for it by name. Goodyear Assurance, Max Life, $550 to $750. Same manufacturer as the weather-ready disaster above, and completely different engineering with completely different results. 92,000 miles of maintained grip. A fleet manager running 12 company sedans averages 88,000 miles per set and saves over $4,000 every year compared to when he trusted weather-ready tires that wore out at 40,000. Number 1. Michelin Cross Climate 2, $800 to $1,000 per set. And this number is not a typo. At 80,000 miles, these tires outperformed brand-new all-season competitors in snow traction. I drove a set to 87,000 miles and replaced them not because they were finished, but because I wanted to test something else. A nurse in Minnesota ran them through 3 full winters to 72,000 miles and never felt unsafe once in conditions that sent other drivers spinning. The compound does not harden, does not cup, does not quietly abandon its braking numbers, while your tread gauge tells you everything is fine. At barely over 1 cent per mile for maintained all-weather performance. Across 87,000 miles you are spending less, driving safer, and never walking into a tire shop on anyone else's schedule but your own. You now know which brands are financial traps, wearing trusted names, and which tires actually earn every mile they promise. Share this with someone about to make the wrong decision at the tire shop. Subscribe so you never get burned again. And watch the next video right now. Because the money you save under your hood is just as real as the money you just saved under your wheels.